Welcome to part two of UR Talk 16, and basically this part will be taking a trip to memory lane to the release about 4 weeks ago. As part of this nostalgia, let's firstly review the newish Vortex card, which was a Kronnen. Kronnen for the Vortex at 4-star is a 8/3 with the ability of Revenge plus free life. So firstly, Sliffy, what was your initial thoughts of this card?
Bad.
That
That's it.
That's it.
My review.
Well, there you go. Sliffy has basically just summed up the whole card in one word. What about you, though, Chris? Do you think Kronnen does anything? Or are we just, yeah.
I think it's just too shaky to be used.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know what it is. It's just kind of bad card, really. I don't know. Let's try and salvage something from this. So, I mean,
Shall I review this card, actually?
we will try and review this card, even though it's nearly impossible. And we do have a time limit, so we're going to try and keep that time limit. Just very quickly, Chris, competition, though, obviously Dag is going to be the standout 4-star. But, looking at the other 4-stars for the Vortex, I mean, they haven't really got anything else, really. I don't know, Levac, Lugr, whatever it is, some other random cards. Krung, there you go, there's another one. Does he stand out anyway against those, of course, amazing 4-stars?
I think he's up there with them, but that's only if you can't afford Dag.
Okay. What about you, though, Sliffy? Do you think that he does anything? Or...
I don't think so. Actually, if he was from my personal opinion, if he was from a different clan, then he'd be a 3-star, because his stats are very close to a lot of 3-stars that are barely played.
Yeah.
Like,
I think I think that's
Clay,
because it's a Vortex card, though.
Right. I understand,
Yeah.
and I understand Vortex's ability, their bonus is really good with 8 power and all that good stuff. But you got Love Hack, you got Krung, you got the obvious Dag, you got the 4-star Sea Beast.
Yeah.
That's four 4-stars already stated. And
Just very quickly, Sliffy, you did say the 4-star Sea Beast. Unfortunately, because, obviously you don't spend your life in this game anymore, they did, unfortunately, ban unevolved cards, so I just thought...
That's
I would, yeah. But anyway, Sliffy, just talking about the revenge ability, though, I mean, can the revenge ability be salvaged in any way? I mean, it's not a bad ability for the Vortex, to be fair. I mean, because...
It's not terrible, it's hard to get, it's obvious, it's only +3. Against SOA, he only gets 8/3 solid damage. Sure, 8 power is great, but, is there a point of winning at all? I know, your Vortex, you don't have to win, but if you do only 1 damage against some DRs, does it really matter?
Yeah, I suppose. What about you, though, Chris? Do you think the revenge ability, does it help with the Vortex synergy, I suppose, or yeah?
I think Revenge is just too easy to spot, so it's not really that good.
Okay. Right, let's finally go into the ratings. So, Chris, out of 10, what would you give our amazing friend Kronnen?
I'd give him 6.
Another 6. Saying consistent. Why is that, though? Is it just
competition again, too much competition.
Okay, and what about you, though, Sliffy? Out of 10, what would you give Kronnen?
I'm going to be a little nice, give him a 5.5 out of 10.
Oh, wow.
Because of that 8 solid power. But other than, I listed 3 cards before him, and you really don't need more than 3 4-stars. Even Type 2 Survivor, you wouldn't use more than 3 4-stars. And even that's a lot. So
Yeah.
Really don't need.
Okay. Well, I mean, in my opinion, I would say this card is fairly bad. Unfortunately, of course, you can probably do some weird defeat shizzle, but unfortunately, I would probably give it a 6 out of 10. Right, let's speed on because we are running out of time. God damn it. Let's move on to Maurice for the uppers at 4-stars as a 7/5 with the ability of -3 damage minimum 2. So, firstly, Chris, what was your first thoughts on Maurice?
I thought the DR was good and could be used in uppers in Survivor.
Okay. What about you, though, Sliffy? Do you think this card does anything for the uppers, or...?
I think it's a wonderful card, personally. When I say wonderful, though, I mean, in ELO, if uppers is even using ELO. In DTs, it's not that great. But, it's probably their best 4-star for ELO. minus the damage reduction is pretty good. 7 solid power is nice. 5 solid damage isn't terrible at all. You can do a KO with a Fury Dorian. You can do all that good stuff. It's not terrible in any sense, I think.
Okay, but I mean, like, what about competition though? Do you think like Wayne Stark? You've got
No.
you've got Nelly though. I mean, I would think that Nelly is.
Nelly is a very good point, and he's more solid than Nelly. He has more variations over Nelly. Like, he can block, he can attack.
Yeah, he's definitely more flexible, is what you're.
Right, but Nelly versus him, it's completely player based. I don't think one's better than the other for Elo.
Okay. Right. Let's just speed on to the rating, I suppose. So, out of 10, Chris, what would you give Maurice?
I'd give him an 8 out of 10 because he can attack and defend. He can be used in many ways.
Okay, and what about you though, Sliffy? What would you give him out of 10?
I think an 8.5. As Chris said, attack, defend, do a lot of things, solid stats overall, good card.
Yeah, I definitely think this is a very nice addition to the uppers. Maybe not for DT, of course. I think that's pushing it a little bit, but definitely for Elo, bring them back. Uppers at the moment in Elo, I think Dorian made a comeback recently. I can't remember. Like
Dorian's the man.
Dorian just randomly came back like for 1 week. But I don't think they're huge, but Maurice does help them quite a bit. DR's always quite nice. I suppose maybe like Bert plus him. That's just thoughts. But anyway, yeah, out of 10, I would probably give him the same as Sliffy because, I'm a huge copycat. And I'll give him an 8.5 out of 10. Right, let's move on to the penultimate release 4 weeks ago, and that was Edwin. Edwin for the Nightmare at 3 stars is a 5/5 with the ability of -3 power, minimum 4. Firstly, Sliffy, first thoughts on this card?
This is a very hard card to judge. 5 damage is very nice. The 5 power is ignorable due to his good ability, and SOB helps a lot to keep that really good ability. At the same time, though, a lot of abilities screw him over, like attack manipulation ability will screw him over. Better power manipulation will screw him over. Just simply getting somehow overpowered by a really solid stat plus the attack bonus, he's a good card. I don't know if I would use him though over competition, which is Pad and Targ, but he's not terrible in anything.
Okay. Okay, so I mean, Chris, what would your kind of first thoughts on Edwin?
I thought it was okay. 5 damage is always good. The ability is quite good, but against attack manipulation, it's not going to win most of the time. So it's just alright. Okay.
I mean, you guys say about attack manipulation, but in terms of competition, though, I mean, is Pan any better against ability-based attack manipulation?
Oh yeah, he is. 7 power is better than 5.
Okay.
I think my math's correct on that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what about you, Chris, though? Do you mean, I don't know really, is he any better than Pan, or is Pan always kind of first, really?
I prefer Pan, getting the plus life's nice.
Yeah. I don't know, I don't like Pan, really. It's just I have a hatred against him. I would use Dieter over Pan, that's how, yeah. Anyway, moving on. So, I mean, talking about the shakiness, though, Chris, I mean, really, is this card shaky, or is it, I don't know, is it usable? Is it usable enough?
I'd say it's usable, yeah.
Okay. And what about you, though, Sliffy? Would you say this card is a little bit shaky, though, or is there something?
Shaky is the wrong word. Shaky, there's not that many attack and, power, manipulation abilities. There's not as many as I may, pretend there may be. I understand that. At the same time, though, there's a lot of, there's DRs, and Nightmare don't really do a lot of two-a KOing, all that good stuff, and I don't know if he's, overly amazing or not,
Okay. I mean, instead of shaky, though, what would be the word that you would use, though? Think of the word.
Good, but with weird competition?
Oh, okay. That's...
a hard word to put. He's a hard card to judge. Sorry.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair, Sliffy. Whatever. Anyway, moving on. Finally, Chris, give your rating out of 10 for Edwin.
I'd give him a 7.5 because he is usable, but I'd still choose Pan over him.
Okay, and what about you though, Sliffy? What would you give him out of 10?
It's so hard because he's good. He has 5 solid power with ability that brings him down, and SOB that cancels out competition. At the same time,
Sliffy, calm down, Sliffy. Just give us
7.
Just give us your rating out of 10.
7.
7?
But but it might change. I don't know. 7's a solid number, right? 7's pretty average.
Okay, that's fair. Well, I mean, you guys have made me change my opinion on Edwin. I actually thought this card was okay, actually. I don't know. I tend to not like using Pan for some reason. It's just I have something against that card. I don't know what it is. Just me. I still stay strong to Edwin. He's an okay card, but I mean now thinking about it though, he is a little bit kind of. I don't want to say shaky because Sliffy said it wasn't, and I believe everything that Sliffy says, obviously. So
true story.
It's a true story. I don't know, 7.5 out of 10. There you go. All right, let's move on to the final release, and that was Ivana. Ivana at 2 stars is a 7/2 with the ability of stop, -3 damage, minimum 3. So pretty much it's Jackie's worst nightmare. It's like a Uranus with its ability and everything. So anyway, first thoughts, Chris.
I think with the 7 power and obviously the ability and only 2-star, it was quite a good card, and it's quite cheap as well, so it's usable, yeah.
Okay. And also, Sliffy, what was your initial thoughts on this card?
First question, if you don't mind me asking. It's the strongest 2-star for Pussycats, correct?
Is it really? You got Brittany though.
Brittany?
You've got Brittany. I don't know. It's Brittany. Yeah, or Brittany with ability is slightly strong.
Oh, right. Okay, I forgot about her.
Yeah.
Okay. Good
But
call.
I think Wanda's banned at the moment. Is that right? Can someone confirm this?
Is he permabanned?
I don't know. It's a mystery.
I haven't played in a while. I have an excuse.
I think we did say it was permabanned. So yeah, slightly awkward. There you go. All right. So anyway, moving on.
Oh, back to review time.
Yeah, that's thoughts.
Yeah, right. I don't play Pussycats that often, so I'm not the best at them. I'm pretty sure they're not oftenly monoclanned, and someone can, say otherwise, and I'll completely believe them. But this Brittany, there might be Wanda, there might not be. My entire review depends on if Wanda's there, because if Wanda's in the game, there's no need to use.
Well, I definitely think Wanda's banned. Chris, do you know?
If Wanda is banned, and let me finish, please.
Sorry.
If Wanda is banned, she's basically the Wanda replacement, in my opinion.
Okay. Right, we're getting pushed for time here, so let's move on. So, Sliffy, will this card become a staple, do you think? Or we just...
I'm not a big fan of stop cards, so personally, I'm a little biased, but it's very usable even without stop.
Okay. What about you, though, Chris? Do you think this card will become a staple?
I think it will. The 7 power is good, and the ability, if activated, is good as well.
Okay. Right, so finally... Chris, do you think... Well, not really finally. I mean, Chris, do you think it's kind of dependent, though, on the ELO metagame? In terms of whether there's Geist there or not, really? I don't know.
Yeah, it's going to shine in Geist Week, but even so, at a 2-star with the 7 power, it's still good to use any week. So
just like a general use card, really. I mean, does it need its stop, or not really?
For a 2-star, I don't think so, no.
Okay. Right, let's finally go to the ratings. So, Sliffy, out of 10, what would you give Ivana?
She's a good card, despite what I've been saying. Solid stats, ability isn't terrible. Of course, she's a Pussycat bonus. 7.5 out of 10.
Okay. And, Chris, what would you give him out of 10?
I'd give him 8 out of 10. The power's good, damage is good, and then if you can get the ability, that's a bonus. Okay.
In my opinion, Ivana is a nice card. I definitely think very useful for the Pussycats. I will probably give it an 8.5 out of 10. And for all those Jackie users, beware, because I'm going to get you with my Ivana. All right, so we've been really pushed for time here. We've got like 9 seconds left. So make sure you check out part 2, and I'll see you then. Yeah. See you guys.